Considering the fact that how much I've come a long way since last year, and I'm looking forward to keep going in the future. So, like I said, we're gonna go hard in 2018. We're gonna reach our first 1K, and we're just getting started. So, we're gonna react to my boy Big D's experience at the Super Bowl parade at Philadelphia. So let's see what he has to see. Fly Eagles Fly. And no, I do not know the theme song. LOL. Oh.
Good day to you. It is your boy Big D. It is good to be home. This past Thursday, I was at the Eagles Super Bowl parade in Philly. I had a fun time. I really did.
I'm glad you did, buddy. I seen it on Instagram too.
Been better, but I still had a great time regardless. And this was something I don't give a shit when anybody says this is something I absolutely felt I had to be at. You know what I mean?
I know.
Now I would have made this video yesterday when I got home, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was exhausted when I got back. I really did. I was really exhausted. I figured I'd just order a pizza, eat that, and then just go to sleep, and then just do the video the next day. And that's what I did. So anyway, in case you don't know,
I'm gonna turn this lamp on. It's a little dark in here.
I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Basically, I have to like pack shit, catch the bus, stay over family overnight, maybe a couple nights, and then come back and just pray that I don't forget anything when I come back. I'll tell you what, if I was driving, it'd be a lot easier. It really would. I'm still trying to get my license, but I keep trying to call people for call these driving places for lessons, but they don't seem to ever return my calls. I don't know why, but I'm going to try to call them again today and see where I go from here. But anyway, yeah, it would have been a lot easier. I would have done the same thing Nitro Freak did. Nitro Freak basically, the night before the parade, Nitro Freak basically got to Philly by midnight and went to a car park in Philly and decided to just do an all-nighter and just kind of nap there. So when it was time to get to Philly the next day, he was already there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would have done the same thing. But I don't drive, I have to catch the bus, and I had family members that wanted to come with me. So I stayed over family overnight down in South Jersey. I ended up getting up at 6 in the morning to find out that a good number of my family members actually didn't want to go. I didn't quite find that out until like 6 or no, I ended up finding that out like 7 or 8, 7:30, 8. That they didn't want to go. I needed to be absolutely sure of. I needed to be sure they knew what they wanted to do before I went anywhere. I didn't want to leave anybody behind. But I had to get there as early as I could because that place was going to be packed. And it was. But yeah, I got my final answer by 8:20, I believe. So I ended up getting a lift and got that at 8:30. Got to Philly around like 8:40 something, close to 9. I ended up getting off at Columbus Avenue near a place called Talk of the Town Steaks. I figured without my family members around, I mean others went, but they didn't go with me. So without anybody following me around, I figured since I was able to do my own thing, I needed to get as close to the art museum as I could. I needed to get to the art museum. The Rocky Steps, I needed to get to that area because that's where all the action was, you know what I mean? So I basically spent, where I got dropped off, there was a stand selling Super Bowl merch, and that's where I got this hat. That's where I got this hat. I still plan to get an official one, but for now I basically had to just take what I could get. But when I get the chance, I'll get an official one. I kind of want to get the beanie without the poof ball, because I already have enough poof ball ones. You know what I mean? But yeah, I basically spent the majority of my trip just traveling around different parts of the city, like in the Broad Street area, seeing where everything was.
Let's see what you got here. I know not a lot of people.
And
No comments yet.
footage. I basically spent the entire, because there was a sea of people on Broad Street. I mean, if you were there, you would know. I mean, there was people on trees. I saw people in trees. I saw people on the roofs waving their flag. I've seen people sitting on signs, like there was a CVS and there was the CVS sign. I saw basically about 10 people all sitting on top of the CVS sign. I don't know how they got up there. Maybe they had a ladder that they kept, and someone just took it. I don't know. I don't know how they got up there. Probably a ladder. That would be my guess. Yeah, I don't have my usual stand for this, but the device I usually record this kind of stuff on is on the fritz. But that's okay because the one I'm using right now can actually hold more storage, so it won't time out on me, where I won't have to do it all over again. You know what I mean? Really hate when that happens. So yeah, I basically was traveling through Broad Street to try to get to downtown Philly. It was a sea of people. I mean, I had to like kind of get by people. Excuse me. I mean, I wore my Bednarik jersey. I mean, it was cold as a motherfucker. I mean, I made sure I was layered to the T. I kind of felt like I should have worn my throwback jacket, but I really wanted to wear a jersey, and I don't necessarily believe in wearing a jacket with a jersey. I believe in wearing it with a hoodie, though, but not with a jacket. But that's just me. Yeah, I mean, yeah. By the time I got halfway there, I mean, the police already caught up, and the guys that were riding bikes, they already passed me. I mean, there was music playing in the background. I mean, Dreams and Nightmares played a lot by Meek Mill. That was the theme song the Eagles used. That was their entrance theme during the Super Bowl. And I'm not the biggest Meek Mill fan, but Dreams and Nightmares is a kick-ass song. I don't give a shit what anybody says. And I don't think too many people are going to disagree with me on that one. That song kicks ass. And there was a debate between Drake and Meek Mill a few years back. I never thought Drake was better than Meek Mill. Never. I was never a huge Drake fan either.
Me neither.
I never will be.
Him or Meek Mill.
One of his songs was playing, and I'm pretty sure you can take a guess on what it was. I don't think I need to tell you. I think you can guess. Pretty obvious, don't you think? Yeah, there was that playing, and of course, I'm not going to point any fingers. I'm not going to be mad at anybody. I'm not going to hold grudges or anything like that. But someone thought it was a good idea to play that no-talent, annoying fuck Justin Bieber. And if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow me on Instagram, speaking of Twitter and Instagram, that's where I have some of my pictures and a little bit of footage from the parade. That's where I basically stored it all. I couldn't get good footage because I couldn't see over the crowd of people, you know what I mean? So, there wasn't much I could do, but I have some footage on Instagram at BigDragon49, and I believe I shared some.
Did they seriously play Justin Bieber's song at the Super Bowl parade? Whoever did that must be gay.
I've been on Twitter at Big Dominance. But yeah, if you go on my Twitter and Instagram, I've expressed it over time. I've mentioned it both privately and I've mentioned it publicly. I fucking cannot stand Justin Bieber. I think he's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
He's been the death of music for me.
I mean, I used to like him too, but he sucks.
Fuck Justin Bieber. I think he's garbage. He will always be trash. If you like Justin Bieber, more power to you. I just can't stand him. I think he fucking sucks. The shit factor of music. And when I heard that, I was like, ah! No! No! Make it stop! That was basically what I was like the whole time. But thank God it didn't play for very long. I ended up taking some of the back street, like the street behind Broad Street where there was no people, to kind of take a shortcut. That was what I was mostly doing. I basically spent the majority of my trip trying to get from point A to point B. And that's probably why some people that are subscribed to my channel, if you were there, you didn't encounter me. And that's why, because I have this bad fucking habit, man. I like to travel same thing at the draft. I was like, from one place, I was at another place. I wanted to be everywhere at once. That's just a habit of mine. I like to be everywhere.
Sorry, I gotta do some of my mom real quick.
I like to travel around. I can't stay.
Got me a blue pop.
I've never been able to. I mean, if you're at the game, you don't really have that much of a choice. I mean, once you choose your seat, that's your seat. You know what I mean? That's different.
Let me say this. It's a good thing they did not start no riot like they did on Facebook. Because I remember a few days ago after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I was on Facebook and I've seen just a bunch of idiot people inside the store throwing food everywhere, throwing at each other, having a food fight at the store. Throwing away thousands of dollars of food, wasting them and stuff. And to make matters worse, I've seen the riot starts outside of Philadelphia. I see fire, people flipping cars, just going crazy. I mean, okay, I get it. You guys won the Super Bowl, but why would you want to do all that dumb stuff by setting things on fire, throwing stuff everywhere? Like, this is not Ferguson. Look, I mean, this is not Ferguson, This is not 2015. Like, come on, people. Grow up. You won the Super Bowl. I get it. You're the Super Bowl champions. But don't be going around doing all this crazy nonsense. Like, this is why I'm not even an NFL fan. You will never see me act like that in public ever. Seriously, man. NFL fans are the most retarded ones. And I've seen a whole lot of crazy people doing a lot of crazy stuff on it. Especially when they're at the game, fighting one another. Like, come on, man. This is retarded.
But, yeah, it took me about... By the time I got there, I managed to beat I was able to... When I got to the art museum, I was able to watch... They had these screens up where you were able to watch the parade from there. And I was able to see the bus where all the players were on. I mean, Chris Long was wearing this big fur coat, kind of like a pimp, and he had a 76ers jersey on. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know what the hell Lane Johnson was wearing. I don't know what the hell he was wearing, but he was wearing something. He was wearing some type of eyewear. I don't know what it was. Yeah, when I got to the art museum, when I was where the fountain is, when I saw the screen, I was like close up where I could see everything. That's where I should have stopped. That's where I should have stayed. But knowing my bad habit, I tried to get closer. I wanted to get closer to the Rocky Steps, and that was a fatal mistake on my part. It was a fatal mistake on my part.
Of course it is.
When I tried to get closer, it was a bad idea.
And I'm saying that it did happen, but yeah.
Not only were you going into a fucking... You were in a sea of people, but that land was so fucking muddy. It was muddy as a motherfucker. I mean, I got mud all over my boots, man. I had to rip them off when I got back.
Come on.
I a little bit, which was a challenge, and wipe my
I'm
boots
so
off
sorry,
when I got
guys.
back. But yeah, I got mud all over my boots. I was trying to get as close as I possibly could. There was like many dead ends.
I think I'm gonna have a talk with my friend.
I really couldn't go anywhere.
So I can tell him not to interrupt my live stream.
I was trying to get as close as possible, but I should have just stayed where that screen was, where the fountain was. The fountain is usually filled with water. It was filled when I was at the draft. It's completely drained in the wintertime. I should have just stayed there. Big mistake on my part. I believe that was where Nitro Freak was. I mean, he might have been on the opposite side. I ended up going through a tunnel, and I had to try, and I figured, you know what, I can't go any further. I might as well just go back to where I was, where that big screen was. And by the time I got back, Jeffrey Lurie was already went to the podium to make his speech. I basically spent all my time trying to get a good spot. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. But I was able to get back in time for, what I was able to hear was, I couldn't get back when Doug Peterson got to the podium, when Doug Peterson made his speech. I do remember Doug Peterson saying something along the lines of, this is going to be the new norm. So basically what Doug Peterson meant was, he's going to plan to win more Super Bowls, and I guarantee you, I definitely agree. I truly believe that we're capable of winning another Super Bowl. I think we're going to win another Super Bowl with Wentz. It's only a matter of when. That'll be for another video. That'll be a topic for another video. But I was able to, and with Nick Foles, I don't remember everything Nick Foles said. Nick Foles basically said that this was the greatest moment of his life, and of course it was. I mean, he hasn't really had that many highlights in his career up to that point. I mean, yeah, he had a 27-2 season. He had the 7-touchdown game against the Raiders, but other than that, he really didn't have anything until he came in for Wentz and then won us our first Super Bowl. And that's why that's the jersey I plan to get, because that dude was the MVP. Like I said, I don't remember what everybody said individually. I don't remember. I believe they had the subtitles up, but I wasn't paying too much attention. But the one speech that I remember the most, and I'm pretty sure everybody remembers this speech, was when Jason Kelce took the podium. And you know what I mean. I will forever be mad at myself for not recording this. I will. I'll forever be upset at myself. Because I really felt like I should have been able to record this. So yeah, Jason Kelce ended up in a mummer's costume. And I believe it was worn by somebody on New Year's Day. It was from the Avalanche String Band. Hold on. Yeah, it was Bob Coyle. He was practicing with other members of the Avalanche String Band, and his wife called him and... Oh, sorry. They better not fucking copyright my ass for that. She said, listen, do you have a mummer suit for someone who's 6'4", 300 pounds? He's like, I said, he was like, who the fuck needs that? It was Jason Kelce. So yeah, Jason Kelce is close friends with the wife of Bob Coyle. So Bob, that was the outfit he wore on New Year's Day, and it fit Jason Kelce perfect. But when Jason Kelce took the stand, he basically went on and basically said, he started talking about Howie Roseman, and he said, when 2 years ago, Howie Roseman, he was demoted of his place in power. He was put in the side of the building where I didn't see him for over a year. And when he said that, people around me were like, yeah, fuck Chip Kelly. I thought that was funny. I knew somebody was going to say that, you know what I mean? I don't know if you heard that where you were, but that's what I heard. He said, when Howie Roseman came back into power, he came out of that building a different Howie Roseman. He came out with a purpose to win the whole thing. Somewhere along those lines, that's what he said. And when Doug Peterson was hired, he was considered the worst coaching hire by a bunch of clowns in the media. Although, according to Event Status, that was kind of the fans' fault for how we reacted to it, because a lot of fans were upset that we hired him. Keep in mind, may I remind you. But, and then he's like, and then some clown called Mike Lombardi this past offseason, told him that he was the least qualified coach in the NFL.
Wow.
And Doug Peterson didn't coach this season to be mediocre. Because I believe that was what Mike Lombardi said. He didn't play this season to be mediocre. He played to win. He went for it on 4th and down. He went for it on 4th and down in the Super Bowl. And during that whole thing, you should have seen Howie Roseman. He was pretty much laughing. He had this like awkward grin on his face, and then he was like laughing the whole time. I mean, a lot of them were laughing the whole time. He's like, it doesn't just end there. It doesn't just end there. Jason Peters was told he was too old. Carson Wentz didn't come from a Division I school. Nick Foles couldn't do it. Lane Johnson can't stay off the juice. Jason Kelce's too small. Brandon Brooks has anxiety. Wisniewski can't do it. LeGarrette Blount is too old. Corey Clement is too slow. Jay Ajayi can't get it.
Man, they be talking some trash, weren't they?
Torrey Smith can't catch. Nelson Aguilar can't catch. Nigel Bradham can't. Nigel Bradham doesn't fit the scheme. Jalen Mills can't cover. He's like, this is the whole team. It's the whole team. The media didn't want us to win. And he's like, he said something that, what he said was, you know what underdogs is? An underdog is a hungry dog. And that was put on our offensive lineman board for 5 years by Jeff Stoutland. And that you have been starred of a championship for 58 years. And I'll tell you what, and here's when it got good. He's like, and then Kelsey proceeded to say, well, if I didn't have my breakfast, I'd be fucking pissed off too. Exact words right there. He actually did say it. And then he said, for all of those that doubted us, for all of them, he basically just buried the excuse makers and naysayers and haters right there.
Yeah.
For all of those who doubted us, who counted us out, yeah, like Jay and Jai said, fuck them. And then he proceeded to sing, no one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care. We're from Philly, fucking Philly, no one likes us, we don't care.
That's messed up.
And it was poetic. And then when Malcolm Jenkins made his speech, when he took the podium and raised up that Lombardi trophy with the confetti in the background, especially with the Rocky music playing afterward, it was fucking surreal. It was symbolic. You simply had to be there. And when their speeches were over, I had to get a train back to South Jersey. I mean, all the speed lines were closed. I mean, 8th and Market Street was closed. The only one that was open was 9th, 10th, and Locust. And I was in this long-ass line waiting for a train. And luckily, we didn't have to pay for a ticket at the time. We basically got a free ride. But they stopped at Lindenwold, and I had to...
So my mind's so I don't know why every time I do these reactions, my mind always be somewhere else.
So yeah. Long story short, it was a fucking blast. I basically spent my entire trip just moving as close to the art museum as I could. I mean, I was dropped off wherever I could get dropped off, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm sorry for rambling on. And there was something I've missed. Feel free to say so. Anyway, if you were there and you had a good time, I really hope you did. I'm really sorry you didn't get to meet me because I have this bad habit. I like to move around a lot. I do apologize for that. But I will say this. I will be there at the season opener. I'm going to get my ticket, and I'm going to be there at the season opener. I'm predicting that we're going to open up the season against the Vikings or the Redskins. That'd be my best guess. So I'll probably see you there. Unless I'm moving around trying to see other people like Nitro Freak or Desert Eagle 90. The reason I never met Desert Eagle 90 is because I moved around a lot at the draft when he was there. I was like in many different places at once, and when he was walking around, he missed me. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here right now. Let me know what y'all think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Fly Eagles Fly. I'm pretty pumped about the next season. Be on the lookout for my season recap. I'll be making that either later today or tomorrow. Anyway, y'all have a good one.
Let me say this, like I said before. I know there are a lot of fans that Philly won the Super Bowl, but there's no reason for them to go out and start tripping like that. And it's way out of character, if you ask me. On a side note, I would like to talk to you all about my love and hate with the Redskins just a little bit. I love the fact that Kirk Cousins is working as hard as they can. No, he tries to be the best quarterback he tries to be the best quarterback that he can be. You know, but the problem with that is that he's not really doing his job right. And the coaches and the whole staff are not really working with him. So unless we get a new coach for our Redskins and moves back to Washington, D.C., where we belong, instead of FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, I think we have a chance of being a great NFL team again. And plus, change the name. So, if we can't do that, then there's no point of, us going to the Super Bowl or even the playoffs for that matter. Because we've been to the Super Bowl, won 3 Super Bowls since the late 80s and the early 90s. And that was the only time that we ever won. But ever since then, we suck. Dan Snyder owned this team since '89. And now all of a sudden he refused to change the name. And that's basically, one of the biggest reasons why this team is cursed. And I sometimes wish that, Jay Gruden would just leave Redskins because he sucks as a coach. It seems like every coach we get for the Redskins has always been soft. Even the teams like to have fun, but sometimes when it comes to us, you need to think about the fans more and think about winning games more and play better rather than joke around stuff. Like, that's one thing I don't like. I never liked about the Redskins anyway, so I just don't understand. I really don't. But nonetheless, congrats to Philly on the Super Bowl victory. I hope everybody have a great time at Philly. Going to the Super Bowl parade. Like my man Big D here just said. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, comment, like my video, share my videos, follow me on Instagram as well. I'm out of here.